we're going to go over the 8-point of 1A solving equations. If you already watched the first video or have these notes, this is the next step after solving the equation on the 6-point. Again, we're going to remember we need to do the inverse, but the other thing we need to consider is simplifying. Okay, so here, if we have more than, let's say, two terms on one side, and we have like terms on one side, we're going to need to simplify. Okay, and in this case, the simplifying that we have to do is we have to distribute or multiply the 6 times the 2x and the 3. Okay, so we're going to distribute 6 times 2x and then 6 times 3 here first. Negative 6 times 2x, that's going to be negative 12x. Negative 6 times 3, it's important to make sure you multiply both terms. It's going to be negative 18. Now we get negative 4x, don't forget to bring that in the negative there, plus 6x. Now again, remember we talked about inverse last time. The inverse of negative 18 is plus 18. So we add 18 this time instead of subtract. And now we have a negative 4, so we add 4x instead of subtracting 4x like we did last time. Okay, so negative 4x plus 4x, those both become 0. Negative 12x plus 4 is negative 8x. 6 plus 18, that's going to be 24. Notice how this problem is pretty much now just like the 6-point question after that first step. Okay, now we do 24 divided by negative 8. That's going to be negative 3. But again, the key step is distribute that 6 and make sure that you are distributing to both terms inside your parentheses there. Okay, all right, next one. Very similar problem, except now that set of parentheses is on the right side, and that we had 1, 2, 3 terms. Now on the right side we have 4 terms, so we're going to have to again simplify the right side. So we're going to start off by distributing the 3 first. Distribute that 3 to the 5 and the 2, but I'm going to go ahead and write down the negative 4x and then negative 7. Nothing happens there on the left side. Negative 3 times 5x is negative 15x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And then we're going to bring down that negative 68, okay, which nothing changes with that yet. All right, now we have 3 terms on this side again. We have some like terms, and those 2 like terms are the 6 and the 68. The x is not a like term because it has an x, and these do not. So we're actually going to combine these 2 terms together. So again, the left side, nothing happens yet. Bring down the 15x. We're going to combine these 2 together. 6 minus 68. Okay, that's going to be negative 62. And now look, it's just like the 6-point. We're going to do the inverses again. Okay, so the inverse, again, we're going to move the 7 to the right by adding it because it's negative. And then we're going to move the 15 over to this side, and we're going to add it again also because it's negative. Remember, if it's negative, we add. If it's positive, we subtract. Negative 7 plus 7, negative 15 plus 15 cancels out and becomes 0. Negative 4 plus 15x, that's going to be positive 11x. And then here, negative 62 plus 7, that's going to be negative 55. And last step, the inverse of 11 times x is divide by 11. Okay, that cancels out, becomes 1. And then negative 55 divided by 11, which you can do in the calculator if you need to, is going to be negative 5. Again, 2 extra steps here versus the 6-point question. First, we're distributing and multiplying. Then we got to combine like terms if you have more than, or if you have like terms on one side of your equation. And then we're doing the inverse of add and subtract and divide and multiply at the end. Okay, that is your 8-point question.